Hello, PingSkillers, and welcome to episode 181 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. Retired American thoroughbred horse racing jockey Randy Romero won a record 181 races at the Fairgrounds Racecourse in New Orleans. It's Wednesday here in Australia, which means we'll be talking about the drill of the week. In the questions, we're going to talk about serving styles and what to do when you damage your favorite bat. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Welcome, Alois.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And looking forward to another good show, another good morning. It's beautiful outside. Sun's coming up.
Excellent. It does make you feel better when there's a bit of sunshine around, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's 6:15 in the morning here, and it's going to be a beautiful day in Melbourne.
All right. Now, Alois, I want to jump straight into the drill of the week. What have we got lined up for people for this show to talk about?
Yes. So the drill of the week this week it's a simple drill, but it's one that I like a lot. So you're doing 2 balls on the backhand, and then the next ball from your forehand. So you start to get a little bit of rhythm with playing the 2 balls on the backhand. They switch the next ball to your forehand side. It's a slight variation on just the backhand forehand drill, but I think the good part about this drill is then you can extend it to them doing more than 2 balls on the backhand. So they can do 2 or 3 or 4 and then randomly switch it to your forehand as well. So that brings in a whole new element of the game. So starting with just 2 backhands and 1 forehand, 2 backhands, 1 forehand, and then you can do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then they can randomly change to your forehand side. So that's a good one. The other thing to think about when you're doing all of these drills is to think about the types of strokes that you're playing. So today, you might be focusing a lot on your backhand topspin, and so those 2 backhand balls can be topspin balls and the forehand can be more of a control. Or you might be focusing on more forehand topspin today, so you can just control the ball with your backhand and then spin the ball with your forehand. You can even do 1 backhand block, 1 backhand topspin. Yeah. So when we set a lot of these drills, always think about what you are actually working on in that drill, and you can vary it slightly depending on your needs and what you want to improve in your game as well.
Yeah, that's good advice there, Alois. When you're doing drills, to think about, what you're doing makes a big difference, doesn't it? And there's a lot to drills. Even if they're simple, you can still get a lot out of them. And with this one in particular, Alois, the switching factor of you going from your backhand to your forehand is really important, because often you'll see players that have a really good backhand and a really good forehand, but for some reason when you put them together, it doesn't quite work at first. So it does take practice switching from your backhand to your forehand.
Yeah, so what happens is that we tend to get used to playing a forehand and then coming straight back to that forehand position. Whereas if you're playing a backhand, your whole arm movement is completely different, isn't it? So you're going from this movement to over here to play the next forehand. So that's a completely different physical movement that you need to get used to. This compared to this. So it's a matter of, then adjusting your angle correctly, et cetera, et cetera. So, the switching drills are good and a good variation on what you can do.
All right, everybody. So here's your challenge for this week. Get out on the table and practice this drill. 2 backhands and 1 forehand. All right. Yesterday, we talked about the PingSkills question of the day, which was, how do you interact with us? Do you have a free PingSkills account? Are you a premium member? Do you watch on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter? Let us know, we said. What did people say, Alois?
Yeah, so, a bit of a mixed bag. But seeing as we asked the question on Facebook, there was a lot of people that said Facebook, surprisingly. But Veton said YouTube. Sammy said only Facebook. If I want to ask you guys a question, how would I be able to do so? And
Yes, and that was a good question. So, and a lot of people do wonder about this and how we get the questions on the show, Alois. So I'll just quickly jump in. If you go to the website, pingskills.com, and click on the Ask the Coach link there, that's where we have a whole heap of questions. So, and it's a good place to search if you want to find out some information. But you can also ask questions there. And if Alois finds it interesting enough, he will put it on the show. Then the other way you can ask a question is to go to our Google Plus page, where we use Google Hangouts to do this. So on our Google Plus page, there'll always be the next show up. And if you click on the Q&A button on that show, you'll be able to ask us a question live on the show.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple of options, and so we do get a lot of interaction both through the website, on Facebook, on YouTube. So thanks, guys. Just keep it coming. We love being able to help.
Yes, we do, Alois. And
you were a million miles away then, Jeffrey.
I just had to cough a little bit, so I muted the microphone, and then I was just having trouble unmuting it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I thought I'd unmuted it, but I hadn't, and then I did, but I didn't think I had. But I'm sorted now.
And does your wife have access to that mute button for you?
Unfortunately not. Well, fortunately, I'm not sure. All right. This moves us on to today's PingSkills question, which is serving too big a factor in table tennis, and should the serving rules be changed to make it easier for receivers? So as we just mentioned, we put the question on Facebook, so jump on there and let us know your answer. But it's also on the PingSkills website on our blog, so you can go to the blog, go to this show, and leave your answer. Do we need to do something about the serving rules to make it easier for receivers? All right, Alois, now here's the segment everybody waits for. What happened on this day in history?
You got it, Jeffrey. I'm glad you're starting to come around. On this day, the birth of the great Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner, who did?
Caitlyn Jenner. You don't know Caitlyn? Also known as Bruce Jenner, the famous decathlete.
I do. Yes, sorry, Caitlyn. That's why I did not know,
right.
because I didn't know Caitlyn. Well, you're up to date with the Kardashians, Alois.
Mate, am I ever? That's right.
So on this day, 28th of October, what year? Oh no! As soon as he started talking about Kardashians, his internet connection dropped out again. Oh dear! We So what year was that, Alois?
With good cause.
Yeah, with good cause that he's gone out. We might have to switch into audio only for a little while, but that serves him right. I mean, you start talking about the Kardashians, you should be taken off air. All right, let's.
How's that? I'm just on audio now, and I'm listening and hearing what you're saying, and I agree with you. Once you start talking about the Kardashians, you deserve to be flicked off.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's move into the questions then. And first up, Tam asks, what serve does Anton, and I've forgotten how to say this already.
Shellberg.
What serve does Anton Shellberg do, and what makes it so effective?
Yeah, so Shellberg, a young Swedish player, and I need to get back on the video now. Shellberg, the Swedish player, has a really flourishy, big start with his serve, but basically it just ends up as a punch serve. So we've got some video on the Pargarel punch serve there. So it just ends up like that, but I've got to get up here for this. So he starts like here, and there's like the backswing's back here somewhere, and then he comes in and then basically does that. So a lot of the deception is with that big swing, and But he also does get a lot of pace and speed on the contact because of the big contact. So, if you try to just do that, sometimes it's hard to generate enough speed. But he's got the huge wind up where he's almost back around his back ears somewhere with the wind up to do that serve. So that's what it is. But basically, it ends up as just a punch serve.
Yeah, and we'll put a link in the show notes to a video that shows him doing it. It's quite interesting to see at first. Like you said, Alice, that first arm movement is like really big and unusual. So check that out when you get a chance. All right, now, in line with the serving styles that I talked about at the start of the show, the next question is, what serve is Stefan Figueroa? How do you say that one, Alois?
Figueroa, yeah.
Figueroa.
Just say it quickly, Jeff. Just say it quickly.
What serve is Stefan Figueroa doing? He swings his bat behind his body after the serve and it looks like a pendulum serve, but the spin goes to Figueroa's forehand. What is the advantage of this serve?
Yeah, again, it's just a little bit different. So a lot of people aren't doing a serve like that, and that's why it's effective. And we saw that Figueroa did really well at the Polish Open, made the final, beating Zhang Zhique and losing to Fan Zhendong 4-3 in the final. So his serve, and again, we'll put a link up on the video. So he starts like it's going to be a pendulum serve, but then when he comes through, he basically does that. So he's doing that contact. So it's like a little tomahawk serve, I suppose. But again, the preparation is like the pendulum serve. So he's there for the pendulum. He's there and he's big, and then it comes back and he's doing that. The other thing that is interesting, I slowed a few of his down, and it does look like he's a little bit behind the arm on the contact. But you can have a look at that for yourself. So he's here, and then it's a little bit of a tomahawk. It's almost a punch tomahawk, but utilizing a little bit of wrist, and that's why the ball's going around that way and goes out to his forehand. So just a serve that suits him. And the other interesting thing about that serve is the fluff to it is as it sort of goes right back here. And it's a different follow through, and just gives him a different picture that he shows to his opponent. So yeah, just not. I mean, the actual serve doesn't look like a lot, but it's different and very effective for him, obviously.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Now, is like with serves, because the question sort of is, what is the advantage of this serve? But if people are trying to copy serves, the advantage is going to depend on who you're playing and how well they return that serve. So it's good just to have a good understanding of how to generate spin and just work on your own serves.
Yeah, and also that serve's got to suit you. So Figueroa, that serve suits him because the ball comes back with the spin that he likes, and he's able to get in and utilize his strong topspin on both sides after that. So, but for you, that type of spin might not be suitable and might not come back to you the way that you like it. So yeah, you do have to find a serve that you like and that suits your overall game as well. But I think one of the big things out of these two questions about the two servers, Anton Schellberg and Figueroa, yeah, is that they're doing something a little bit different. So they're not just doing your standard pendulum serve or your standard tomahawk serve. They're just showing their opponent something different. So whether it's a big backswing or the different starting position for this serve, and that just makes it a little bit more effective.
Right. So what's a way that a player just developing their serve can find out what serve's right for them that is a little bit different?
Experiment. Just get out there on the table. I mean, the only way to improve your serve is to do it a lot, right? Like every skill. Get a bucket of balls. It doesn't have to be many. Get 20 balls and just get out there and serve. And, like sometimes it can almost come out of boredom. Like, instead of practicing this serve 200 times, just do something different. Maybe that's how Figueroa and Schellberg, got those serves. So just do something a little bit different. Just this, start with a different action, finish with a different action. Try something completely different that maybe no one's ever done before. See how it goes.
All right. I like it. Good idea. And thank you, Eugene, for that question. All right. Next up is one from Romeo who says, I decided to use the backhand flick to receive the ball, but I hit my bat and it broke. I glued it, but it broke again. Can I still use it?
Yes, poor Romeo is losing his partner. Romeo, once it breaks, it's never quite the same. So in your extended question, you did say that you still like the feel of it, and that's okay. But I would worry. So once a bat breaks, it usually breaks around there somewhere. Once a bat breaks, even if you glue it, it's not quite the same one with the feel. And I worry that it's going to break again and snap off and fly and hit someone in the head. So just for safety, I think it's just better to put it away. You can tuck it away. You can put it in a nice little box somewhere. Maybe even in a display case. But probably time to get another bat. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess it's hard, especially if that's like your favorite bat and you've had it for a long time. It can be, hard to move on.
Yeah, it is. I know. I had a bat. I've probably told you the story before. I had a bat for 21 years. I've still got it, still in a little box in the shed. Still got it, but I don't use it anymore.
There you go. All right, Romeo. Well, time to move on. Thanks for the question, and thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you go to pingskills.com, and if you haven't yet, sign up for our free account, and you'll get access to all the strokes and techniques videos. So check it out at pingskills.com. Thank you, Alois, for answering all the questions.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And we'll be on a break for about a week or so, but we shall be back shortly.
We shall indeed. All right. So, look out. We will let you know when we're going to be back on air. Thanks, everybody, and keep enjoying your table tennis. Bye.